Okay, Larry, first opened in 2006. Here's a look inside University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4.
Hey, tight end right. Watch tight end.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They go again with Rawls. And right away, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. They'll run for the first time with Lacey. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. On is the punter, Ryan, to send this one away. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. So this brings up a 2nd and 2. Shift together here from the D-line. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And they only need a little bit here. Third down and very short.
Flex round! Flex round! Come on, Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Pull down! Check!
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 3 yards there. Good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Able to fight through one tackle. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So the D-line's going to spread out. A first down carry here for Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. We figured they'd come out with intensity and aggressiveness on the defensive side of the ball, and they have an early turnover to show for it.
They lived up to their reputation. That's who they are. They want to attack on every play, even though they're playing defense. And you're exactly right. Force their early turnover, and now they'll try to attack again and again throughout the game.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. First down, this is Rawls. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. So down on the ground still is Rawls. And you remember his knee injury and hope that it's not a re-aggravation. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They stay on the ground. This time it's Lacy. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. The first carry for C.J. Process. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. They'll try to pound it in with Lacey. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Second and goal to go now. Wilson going to hand it to Procise. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Now it's Wilson. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Jason Pierre-Paul able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down. On now, it's Blair Walsh as he'll try the field goal here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
Here we go.
In motion right is Fitzgerald. In motion left, Fitzgerald. On 2nd down, Johnson. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's go.
From the shotgun, here's Dobbs. And Dobbs is going to be swallowed up as he'll go down. Michael Bannon in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. Back deep for the Seahawks, the All-Pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. Pulled in at the 24. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
And nothing but daylight ahead. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. C.J. Prosise, 75 yards. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Now Dobbs. Forced out to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, Dobbs. Looking downfield for Jones. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. Six yards to go here on 2nd down. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Lockett the man in motion. Right back to Procise. Flexing his muscle at the 30. Space to maneuver at the 40. And the cutback. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And they finally bring him down, but he reaches the 16. A big play there off the option. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. The tight end in motion right. On 1st down, again, they go Procise. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
That certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game. They want to keep it going.
Here's Procise. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Now a guy who's been a Raider his entire career. This is Marcel Reese. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or 2 shorter than an extra point. So no problems converting there.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. They'll run it with Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Cardinals got to go quickly, hustling to the line. Dobbs now on 2nd down. Going for the deep ball. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And they start the second half with Johnson. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Second down following the run. Again, it's Johnson. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a third and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
Here we go.
Back to throw Dobbs. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Here we go.
On the ground, this is Johnson. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Second down and 4.
Flex round. Flex round. Let's go.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They go to Johnson again. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Johnson. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Here's Dobbs to throw. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. Now the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. The drive starts with C.J. Prosise. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. And that's going to leave them with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So, boy, that's already the third they burned here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the fourth quarter. He gets this one away, and, boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So out now come the Cardinals. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field. And he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
Let's go.
On second down, Dobbs. Escaping the pressure right. And Nelson's got it here right side. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
He completes it to Nelson. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And a big 32-yard play on third.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Dobbs looking to throw on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually
trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And he'll power his way up near the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Shift together here from the D-line. A second down carry for Procise. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. Fresh set of downs here. Wilson turns and gives to Procise. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Time running out here on the play clock. This is Procise on the carry. He spins free and able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
The Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. And the play clock's running down. On third down, Procise. And he is knocked down from the side at the 32-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. Play clock winding down. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 15. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Second down now after the pass completion. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Throwing here, Dobbs. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. They were looking for Johnson that time, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. On play action, it's Dobbs. Out to his left. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mike Bennett in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight.
Here we go.
Off the play fake, here's Dobbs. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Here we go.
On 1st down, Dobbs to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Second down now after the incompletion.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. And defensively trying to beat the 2-minute warning with a timeout, and they do. Calling it with 2:04 left. The busy night continues for Johnson. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Dobbs is throwing. Screen play, Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. To throw is Dobbs. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Bennett in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Here's Dobbs to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Malik McDowell, he's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. On to try the field goal now, Phil Dawson. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. I feel like we just ran a marathon. That was a long drive. They probably wanted 6 if they're going to go that many plays.
And there were no checkpoints, no watering stations, nothing like that, right? Terrific job by the offense, because not only did they possess the ball for that long, they wore down the defense. That could pay dividends later.
They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them one step closer.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Good night, everybody.